How's it going, everyone? This is your friend Tom Moore joining you live from the Millie Club on Facebook and Instagram live Saturday morning, 8:22 a.m. on the Pacific West Coast in Portland, Oregon. We're going to do some sharpening today. I didn't do a ton this week. I have a lot of stuff come in, and now I'm excited, but doing this live, I have to have some energy, and I've been feeling a little bit off. So I'm feeling better today. Got some good sleep, and now we're back to sharpening. First thing we're going to do is sharpen this pair 3. We're going to use my TSProf Kadet. And let's just get going. So when you clamp a pair of 3, any Spyderco, but pair of 3s are a little bit different than PM2s are with how you clamp it. The angle at which you clamp a pair of 3 is different than other Spydercos. Okay, so to get the heel on this thing, the very end of the edge, the stone has to be able to hit there. So you need that line, that flat grind line right there, needs to be parallel with the face of the stone when I put it here. So that means I need to rotate this until right there. That's how you line up a pair of 3 to sharpen. That way you can get the whole edge without hitting the ricasso and fucking it up. Okay, we're going to take a Sharpie, draw on the edge, draw on the edge. Spydercos are supposed to be 17 degrees, so we're going to take it up to about there on the sharpener. We'll check the marker. Okay, we're about 17 degrees right now. We're a little bit too low or high. We're still a little bit high, but I want to check the other side and see how it looks. Usually not exactly the same. Yeah. Okay. So the angle we're at right here is kind of a good middle ground between the two bevels, because the two bevels are on different. One's too high and one's too low. So we're going to zero this out, see what the angle is. Zero out the side. Okay, we're right at 17, which is where I want to be. Perfect. If I can sharpen a Spyderco at 17, I always do, because it makes it easy to come back and do it again. All my knives are basically at 17 unless they were drastically different from the factory, but they're usually pretty close. Okay, so we got a little bit of profiling to do on this edge to get all the marker going. The tip is at a slightly lower angle, so we're going to have to do some grinding on it to get it at the same angle. So you can see how the tip is like the top of the bevel right there, as well as marker on it, but the bottom of the bevel doesn't. It's because when they sharpen it, this is very common on the presentation side, is however they pull it off the machine or however they sharpen this, the tip usually is at a slightly lower angle, which means it's usually on this side. So you got to do some grinding on to get the line up. I assume we're just doing this to a, should check that. I assume we're just doing this to a working edge, not mirroring it. So let me check it out real quick. And let the owner know I'm sharpening. I guess he doesn't want it mirrored. All right. Zoom out a little bit. So to get the tip, someone asked me yesterday, like, how I go past halfway from the stone. This is how I do tips. I go 90 degrees perpendicular to the edge. And basically the tip on this side when I'm sharpening comes to the edge of the stone here. And when I sharpen this way, it comes there. So just keep that. If you're having problems rolling it, put your finger underneath the tip, and then it will keep the stone flat. You kind of used to it after a while, though. A little bit more to do on the tip. There we go. Basically there. I'm going to blend it in. Profile the rest of the edge. And let's get the heel now. So the heel, we're just going to take this stone. And since this is a satin spider coat, we have a nice flat grind line here. We're just going to shove it against that and use that as our guide to saw away. Make sure you're not like here. Make sure you're pushed all the way against it. You have to like jump up on the flat grind or the plunge grind. You're just gonna saw away until all the markers gone, which means the very end of the heel is not hard. The hard spot is right in front of the end of the heel, right? And it's not too bad this one, but right there you can see there's a little bit of Sharpie on the top of the bevel. So this is going to take just a little bit more scrubbing on the heel to make the whole edge straight. That's not bad though. Usually it's worse than that, and usually it takes a little bit to get out. Okay, so our Sharpie's all gone. I usually like to spend a little bit more extra time on the heel just to make sure it looks good. Heels just don't sharpen the same as the rest of the edge. So you want to make sure all of the Sharpie is gone and then some. So you don't have to come back later and do it again. Okay, so we got a burr, I assume. Yeah, we got a burr, a nice one. So let's profile this side. The 150 grit half stone premium CBN stone is plenty aggressive. 150 to profile an edge. I have more aggressive stones, so you don't need them. You don't need to go down to 80 to do this with most edges. 80 I use for chips and repairs and stuff like that. If you buy the half stone set, it comes with the 80. You don't have to use it to start an edge. You can start higher than that. Heels can be very quick. They really only need to take like 20 seconds if you have good stones. So this heel's done. This side's basically, I'm going to do a little more of the tip on the side, but not a ton. Okay, this edge is good. Let's do one more pass this side just to make sure we're profiled out. And our scratches are lined up. Reduce the burr. Make sure the tip looks nice. He said he wanted this mirrored. Ah, that's why. So this pair of 3 is getting customized. That's why he wants a mirror on. Okay. I guess kind of odd. It's just a black pair of 3. Makes sense why he wants a mirror on now. So yeah, since this is getting mirrored, we have to make sure the edge is looking real legit before we come off of this stone. So it means the tip needs to be well profiled. The heel needs to be all good. Okay, you can see the burr. We're definitely apex. Okay, looking good. So now we're gonna switch to 400 grit stone. So who do I got watching? Anyone want to say what's up in the comment section? Are you on Facebook? Are you on YouTube? I've been really working on the YouTube account. So if you are watching on Facebook, go check out the Millie Club YouTube account because that's where all this awesome content goes when I'm done with it. When it's not live anymore, as it goes up onto YouTube. All the FFIVs, and then there's dedicated content made just for YouTube on there too. So check it out. Please give me a subscribe, you know, all that good jazz. Okay. One passes 400. Oh, look who we got here. We got Eric Mason in the house. So 400 grit is like, you got to look good after 400 because anything that's left is not coming out of the higher grits. So when we're mirroring 400 grit, I do 2 passes to make sure there's nothing left that's going to screw us up and make us come back later. No big scratches, no big changes in matte finish. No parts of the bevel that aren't profiled even with the rest of the edge that will look different when it's mirrored. Okay, so we're going to look at a different light. Looks bright. Oh, snap. We got people. What up, Facebook user? I will keep them coming. Oh, what's up, Tony V? Just doing a little sharpening. Making this look real legit. We're going to mirror this bad boy. Someone's going to put this on a custom AWT build. Okay. All right. Jumping up to 800 grit now. So 800 grit pretty much kills the burr off. It just like falls, and all of a sudden you have a bunch of steel particles on your edge as soon as you hit it with 800. It's all dusty all over the place. Like all that right there. It's all steel shavings from the burr coming off. So let's get this good and polished up. I usually only do 1 pass 800 grit. Once I go past 400. Okay, let's see what their edge looks like. Looking good. Make sure the heel is really scrubbed because scratches don't come out the heel as easy. You have to give it some extra attention or it'll end up hazy. Okay, 2,000 grit. This is where we start to get polished, and we're going to go up to 5,000 grit. Get a nice mirror on it. Use my TSProf Kadet. I haven't busted out the Hapstone for a minute. I'm just so comfortable using the system that I like it. And I totally recommend the Hapstone, but I like this one just a little bit more. I'm just used to using it. It's faster. I can put more pressure on it, which is not necessarily a good thing. It's just easier for me to use the system than the Halfstone. But they're both about the same results. You're not going to get different results from one over the other. So you can see the mirror starting to come out. It's nice and polished up. Oh, I like sharpening. It's so relaxing, exciting, satisfying, rewarding. Okay, our last stone, 5,000 grit. Then we'll strop it, and it'll be all good. $5,000 grit stone feels very smooth. You're really just polishing the edge. It's like two pieces of glass floating on each other with the bevel and the stone. But it's getting out those micro scratches and making this a little bit brighter. I don't really know how long to go with these highest stones. It's hard to see what you're doing once it's already polished, so I just go for a little bit. That's probably good. Okay, so now we're going to a strop. So we're going to wipe our edge off, get all the metal shavings off. You can see that's what came off the edge is that little chamois cloth, so I keep my knives clean with. Okay, we're going to switch to a 1 micron strop, which means we need to change the angle because the strop is thinner than my stone. So this will probably be about a ½ degree off. Yep. Re-zero it. Bring it up ½ degree. Okay. So stropping at 17 degrees, same as the bevel angle. Pull only strokes. It's so hard. The invasive thoughts just make you want to push and make you want to do the tip. Don't do the tip. Just skip the tip. Get next to the tip. Don't try to get the tip because you'll just scar your strop up. And it's not worth it. You're not doing anything. It'll be fine. It's already polished enough from the stones. It's so tempting to want to do the tip or push him to the edge just to see what happens, you know? But I'm a weirdo. So I always do big exaggerated lifts when I strop to make sure I don't push into the edge because otherwise if you forget, it's really easy to get in that groove where you start to push just like you're sharpening normally. It takes a little bit of conscious effort to not do that, not go to muscle memory. I'm still relatively new to stropping on the machine. I've only been doing this for, I don't know, a month and a half. Before that, I was doing paddle stripes, but my edges are legit now. They were good before, but now that I strop on here, they're really good. They really don't take any longer. Yeah. I think you have to sign into YouTube to comment. I don't know how that works. I've never tried it, but you probably have to have your account signed in. Okay, ½ micron strop, and then we'll call this good. Quick pass on it. It's a nice little shiny pair of 3. This will look good on some custom scales. It's about 20 minutes. That's about right. That's about how long I like to spend on an edge for like the Spyderco. So a mirror should take me about 20 minutes. Not that I time myself or I'm racing it, but if I'm paying attention when I sharpen, 20 minutes is how long it should take. If I'm not paying attention, It's not that it will go shorter. It'll go much, much longer because I just stick around forever doing nothing. So I try to keep it, the minimum seal removed, 20 minutes is about right for how long a pair of 3 should take me. Okay, now we're going to clean off. Where'd my magic eraser go? There it is. We're going to clean off all the marker on the edge I got on there. Some gunny glow. Easiest way to get Sharpie off is this magic eraser. Comes right off. Careful doing it. It's really easy to cut your finger when you do this. Okay, and let's see how it cuts paper. So I pull it through the edge, make sure there's no snags in it. Someone was making fun of me cutting with print paper. I don't know why. It feels different when it's sharp or when it's dull. It's pretty easy to use this as a standard that everyone has available to cut. It's also the standard of what I judge sharpness by. If you can't cut printer paper, then it's dull. If you can, it's not dull. This is quite sharp for a mirror. And yes, you can tell a difference. Looks like I guess I can zoom in my lens. Kind of hard to see with this angle, but got a mirror. It's sharp, 5,000 grit, 17-degree edge. So now, how long? It's only took 20 minutes to sharpen something else. Got people here watching. Let's sharpen a Benchmade 940. So working on this guy's order, he sent in. I'm going to do a separate video for the cool knife he sent in. He sent in this knife. Sorry, just teaser of next time. These take me some serious effort to sharpen, and I don't have the energy just yet to get these Tonto tips. I'm going to mirror this CRK later. This guy sent 4 knives in. Pretty cool stuff. Like it when people send in little orders. Okay, now I'm trying to remember if a 940 requires that I take the thumb stud off or not. Let's see. We're going to clamp it right there next to the thumb stud on this flat. This is a swedge right here, so I can't clamp in the middle of the edge. I have to clamp on this flat part. You can't really clamp a reverse swedge. It doesn't work. It'll just slip out of the jaws. Okay, now let's check if the stone clears this, or I need to take it back out and take the stud off. I feel like I need to take the stud off, but I really don't want to. Let's just look. Let's look where the stone goes. It's very close. Depends on what angle I sharpen it, I guess. Let's see what angle it is. Let's just take it off, actually. Get it out of the way. This is a T6. Okay, came right off. No big deal. Let's put this to the side. Okay, now we're going to tape this titanium handle and ricasso up so we don't scratch it. Is it worth it? I would be too scared to strop the wrong way and ruin the leather. It happens. If you don't pay attention, you'll strop the wrong way. Is it worth it to hand strop? I learned hand stropping. It's kind of fun, but it's actually easy to screw up your knife hand stropping. You wouldn't think it is, but the easiest thing to do is, one, overstrop when you're just killing your sharpness if you don't get the angle dialed in right. And 2, it's easy to ghost the edge, which means putting a shadow above your bevel that's polished kind of, And what I mean by that is, like, if I put a mirror edge on something, it should have a nice crispy top line to the bevel. If you strop and you do a shitty job, you'll have like a hazy line that kind of fades above your bevel, and it doesn't look very clean when it's sharpened. Okay. Benchmade, I don't know. We'll just use a Sharpie. I think they're around 20. I forget what 940s are now. I think there might be 18. Let's see. It's pretty close to right there, which is about 20. Very close to right there. How did I guess that well? On this side is... Oh, well, that was easy. This is probably about 20. Let's check it. It is 20 degrees. Perfect. Okay. So using our 150 grit stone, let's see how this lines up. Make sure we can get the end of the edge. This tape is kind of in the way I have it taped up. Okay, there we go. We get the area into the edge. Pushing against this to make sure it lines up right. Okay. This one is also a mirror, I believe. I believe the only one I'm not mirroring is a bug out he sent. Yeah, mirroring this one too. Cool. Happy to do it. Mirrors are fun. Not that they take more work, but they're more satisfying. But they make good content. So even if I'm spending more time sharpening them, at least it's giving me something I can show off on Instagram for advertising later. And yes, it's okay to have mirror edges just because you like the looks. People are so weird about it, like, oh, you're gonna cut with it, or oh, that's just for show. My mirrors can cut. My mirrors are sharp. If you want to have a cool looking knife with a mirror edge, that's okay. A lot of my knives have mirrors, not all of them, but a lot of them do, and it's totally fine. I carry them like anything else. But my satin edges can cut a little bit better sometimes, so my pair of 3s that I carry every day, usually I just have a satin edge on them. This edge is pretty consistent for being a Benchmade. It's actually all the Sharpie's gone. This is S30V. Let's see for a burr. I don't have a burr yet, really, that I can notice here anyway. But pretty much there. Let's do another pass after this one. So this is what the tip looks like on this side. We have a little bit on the top of the bevel to get. Tighten this a little bit more, starting to wiggle on me. Tips are harder for me to do on clip side. It's just the angle that you can't see it. You're doing it blind kind of because it's underneath the stone the whole time. There we go. All good on the burr, on the tip. Now let's just do the rest of the edge. Catch it up. Let's check for a burr. I don't really have one yet on this side either. Let's do one more pass and we'll be done with this. Got a burr at the tip. lining up all the scratches. They all kind of go forward sweeping. Someone asked me if I do push or pull sharpening. I don't know. This is how I sharpen, whatever you call that. I just kind of do little sweeps back and forth and some vertical scrubs on the heel. So I'm pushing and pulling. I don't know if that's, you're not supposed to do that. So check for a burr. Oh, we're still going to work on this. Okay, I think we're there. S30V, I always have problems getting a burr on. I don't know why. There we got one. Yeah, we got a burr finally. So here, as long as the burr's gone, yep, we're good to go. Okay, moving into a 400 grit stone. Doing backward strokes on this just to see if there's anything else that pops out on the edge that needs to be addressed. Any different sheens or scratch directions, big scratches. Let's see here. What up, Dane? How do these CBNs do with S90V? They walk through Maximate. They walk through S90V. It's no steel is an issue. These would take on Rex 121. I'm sure this would take on anything. These are great. I love these stones. Some people, I don't know, have lots of different stone sets. This is my one stone set. These will sharpen any steel to a mere polish, no problem. It'll profile anything. It'll take out chips. It leads a beautiful, very, very nice satin finish and a very nice mirror finish. That's exceptionally sharp. Okay, we're reducing the burr at 400 grit, making sure we're looking good. So we can mirror it. Okay. Okay, 800 grit now. Killed the burr real quick. And now we're just going to polish this bad boy up. I need to find a different place for my stones. They rattle and shake too much on my desk now. These drops make silly noises. It tells me when I'm sharpening too aggressively, but they just kind of start shaking in their case. What up, Mike Bennis? Thank you for joining me, everyone. If you are tuning in just now, we are broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. If you did not know and you are on the Facebook group, I have a YouTube channel. It's a group name, it's the Millie Club, Spyderco, whatever. And you should go subscribe to it because I got all these sharpening videos that I do are saved there, and so are the FFIBs and interviews, and Jason does knife reviews sometimes, and I do how-to videos. So you should go check it out and subscribe because it's a plethora of wonderful content on that account. I have about 1,800 subscribers and trying to grow it. So give me a follow or a subscription or whatever you call it on YouTube. Again, this is Tom Moore, your friend at the Millie Club, doing a little sharpening on a Saturday morning. We put a mirror on a pair of 3, and now we are mirroring up a Benchmade 940. This is our 2000 grit half stone premium CBN stone. This is like a polished stone. It looks real nice after 2000 grit. It's not a mirror by some people's standards, but it looks nice, and by most people, they'd be like, damn, that mirror looks good. But we're going to go a little bit higher than this. I can't believe my arm doesn't get tired doing this. I mean, I know why. Yeah, I can sharpen for hours without my arm getting too tired from doing this. It's kind of weird. I can hardly hold my arm up. Pick up the remote control sometimes. Okay, 5,000 grit. Whoop. Final stone. Watching Seinfeld on TV next to me. My office is looking pretty legit now. I got curtains up over the glass French door so my kiddos don't bug me too much, and people know that I'm actually in here doing something, not to be told they have to go poop or something, which happens all too often before. Okay, last side. Okay, we're all done with the stones. Let's wipe it off. Adjust the angle for the strop. 1 micron strop. $20 degrees. My angle keeps being so weird. I know that's not 20 degrees because I just changed it. This thing is being weird. It's giving me false readings sometimes, but I know it can't be right. Okay, well, I know it's got to go half a degree because I put a smaller stone on. Okay. Oh, that's why. It's not in the clamp correctly. I'm a dum-dum. That's why I wasn't clamped all the way in. It's throwing me off. Okay. 20 degrees. We are right on. Okay, cool. Pull strokes only. Remember, don't push because you'll have a bad day. Gonna have a bad day. Avoid the tip. Get close, but don't go over the tip. Not even halfway, not halfway like with stones. Just don't go over the tip. You can go right up to it, but don't go over the tip. I guarantee you'll fuck up your strop. Don't try to get the end of the tip stropped. It's really tempting, I know. What are you guys doing this wonderful weekend? I'm going to be doing some sharpening. I got a lot of cool knives to sharpen in. And if you want to get your knife, boom, gunny glide on this thing, it's starting to make noise. If you want to get your knife sharpened live on video, just shoot me a DM and send me your knives. And I'm running about 3 to 5 days out right now. So it won't be long, and I'll ship your knives back, and you'll be super duper happy with them, I promise. Okay, 0.5 micron strop. Then we're done. Mike Bennett asks, what is my preferred strop media? I like kangaroo leather a lot for the last polish. I've only used leather, and these are kangaroo leather, and they work. I've never tried basswood or balsa wood, which seems like it would work, but these work well, so I stick with this. Although if they were balsa wood, I could replace them, which would be nice. I don't know. It's hard for me to tell the difference on stuff when I strop it. This thing's already really shiny off the stones, so the stropping doesn't do nearly as much as it did on my old stones, where you needed to strop it to mirror it. These are already mirrored, so this is just extra credit. Yeah, took about 20 minutes. That's what it should. Alrighty, all done. Let's clean it up, take off the tape. Let's get the marker off the edge, if there is any. This one we did a pretty good job of keeping it clean. I think we got most of the Sharpie off with the sharpening. Okay, let's do a cut test before I put the thumb stud back on. There we go. Very sharp. Julio. Thumb stud back on. This is like one of the parts I like least about this job is taking off thumb studs. This is easy. This is no big deal. But it is an extra step, and it is something I can lose, and it is something I can drop on the floor, and it is Loctite I have to break usually. It's usually never been taken off. But man, I've had some tough ones that were like not fun, and I couldn't sharpen without doing it. See, this is not the most fun thing to do. It's like putting in a clip screw. Little T6. See, now the other side fell off. Come on. There we go. All done. Here's our edge. Here's our mirror. Cuts. This thing's got great action. And now it cuts. Cuts great. Well, anyway, thank you all for joining me on this Saturday morning. I will be back again later today to do some more sharpening. I want to get this guy's order done today, so I'll be back for sure. Anyway, give us a subscription on YouTube, the Millie Club. If you're watching on YouTube, head over to the Facebook group, Spyderco Millie PM2 Para 3 Club. Join it because it will change your life. I promise. Again, this is Tom Moore at Thomas O. Moore on Instagram. Signing off. I'll be back later. Peace out.